Ready for this trivia question?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm very ready.
What was Britney Spears' first song? What was the first song Britney Spears made?
Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you you got it.
I did it.
It's called Baby One More Time, which doesn't seem
I thought
That's
it was
weird.
Hit Me in like parentheses.
Wait a second. Britney Spears One More. I thought it was just called One More Time. Oh my god, it's Baby One More Time.
Oh. Well,
But
I
that
was,
doesn't make sense in my opinion. I always thought it was Hit Me, comma Baby, comma One More Time. But not Baby One More. You know, right? Like, because it's
what though? It's
she's
making,
talking to Baby.
right, and also I'm realizing now if you made the title of the song "Hit Me, Baby,"
Yeah,
it just
that's
sounds kind of violent.
That's
and
very
not
violent.
in the
Yeah.
spirit of the song.
Yeah, what is the song about?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound good.
Yeah. No. She was 16 years old when she made this, by the way, which is crazy.
Yeah, this is
in
kind of getting
trivia for
weird
well,
to think of.
this is, yeah, no. We'll move on, but that you got the question right.
Thank you.
Anyway, Jeff, how's it going?
All right, how about you?
It's going pretty good. I just realized I haven't had any water today, so that's that.
That's unfortunate. I have
Editing,
a Mountain Dew
that's big. That's
and a
big,
water.
yeah. Okay.
Look at that.
I have just a coffee, which is not. It actually dehydrates you. So
yeah, your
big-
lighting looks awesome.
Yeah,
You need a neon sign that says Karsten somewhere in your frame.
I really do need to. Well, I have all these posters, but I'm like looking for frames for them, and I'm planning on doing up the back a little bit.
Yeah.
I need to spice up this office somehow because yeah, that's it. I got up early today to edit my Black Adam video. I saw that this weekend.
Oh yeah. What's the very, without any kind of insinuation
right.
about what you really like? Good,
What's
bad?
I didn't like it. Yeah.
No, okay.
Not my thing. But it's getting. People do seem to like it, so that's good for the Black Adam team.
Good for The Rock. He needs it.
Good for the Rock. He really
He
needs
needed
it.
this.
Yeah. Anyway, how's your week been, Jeff?
It's been all right.
Yeah.
I've been, just doing stuff, presumably.
Yeah.
It's starting to
had
get a little colder here in Florida.
There we go. It was really. We won't do weather talk that long here, but it was really cold here for a little bit, and I was like, here we go. And then this week it's been all 70s, which is very strange, and yeah, not a very interesting topic, but I had to say it. Say it.
The last thing I'll say about that, since you hate the weather, clearly, when I said it was cooling down, I meant it was like low 70s. For Florida, that's cooling down.
Yeah, that's you start bringing out the jackets. We're taking them off. Yeah. I had my second dirtbag screening yesterday. That went very well.
Oh yeah.
And it's tomorrow. It's going up online, so that's very exciting.
Oh, that is exciting.
It's taken forever, honestly. I feel like the hype has, if anything, died down. But I know there's some people that are like, "Oh my god, it's finally happening." So that'll be cool. And that was the week. That was not a very eventful week. Not one of our more eventful weeks, I would say.
Yeah.
But we did talk about a really exciting movie this week.
We did, which is a movie that I have kind of promoted to you for years.
A very long. This is like one of our most long-awaited, or like highly anticipated, I should say, episodes.
I don't know, because I don't know how many people are even aware this film exists. But it's a film that I said we would watch like years ago, and we're finally getting around to it. It's our most long awaited for anyone who remembers me saying that we will watch it and then waiting for years.
Yep.
For
that
this.
film is The Ruddles. All You Need Is Cash. If that's the one, right? Because there's multiple Ruddles movies.
Yeah, because they made like a remake, which was just rehashing the footage from the first one for like some kind of money grab. I don't really understand it. It's whoever like owned the rights did that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
You want to do the synopsis?
Yeah. This is okay. So that's a really short synopsis. Let me see if I can find a better one. Okay, yeah. This is perfect. It's a 1978 comedy musical mockumentary. And the synopsis reads, this mock documentary, riffing on the story of pop legends The Beatles, follows a fictional band, the Ruddles, as they climb to the top of the charts. Complete with jet black bowl cuts, the four musicians become superstars with such hits as I Am the Waitress, Ouch, and Yellow Submarine Sandwich. Many celebrities make cameo appearances in a series of comedic sketches and interviews, including Bill Murray, John Belushi, and real-life Beatles guitarist George Harrison. Lot to unpack off the bat. It's also directed by Eric Idle, who
is a Monty Python member.
Yes, should be noted, and Gary Weiss.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he created multiple short films that aired on Saturday Night Live. So
and that's the thing. This was a film where there was kind of a variety show Eric Idle had in England after Monty Python. And they brought like a character like the Ruddles onto SNL.
Yep.
And apparently everyone liked it. So then Lorne Michaels, who apparently is always is like a million years old because this was 1978.
Been around.
Found the budget to make it a whole film.
Yep.
And that's why there's so many SNL cameos, because it's kind of like made,
right
in that SNL sphere.
Yeah. Which without knowing that, you kind of watch this thing amazed at how many cameos there are.
Yeah.
Because it is like I really like this movie. I also it's a very stupid movie for the most, but like that's the appeal of it.
Yeah.
And it just makes all these cameos so funny.
That's also
the Mick
very
Jagger
short.
one. Yeah. It's very short.
Yeah, the Mick Jagger one. Mick Jagger is so funny.
He's so funny. Because he plays it so straight in the film, and just it is very short, which is a perk, because it's the kind of thing you're like, I don't know how long this bit can last, and in my opinion, it is like the perfect length. Like, I didn't want any more, and didn't want any less. This was
and so much of it is songs.
Yeah. It's true. It's basically just a music video with a bunch of things in between. Which
the songs are so good.
That's the other thing, is that
the thing is, some of the songs are better than some Beatles songs.
Yeah, well, they don't sound like parody songs. Obviously they're like based on like the catchiness, but like they just sound really well made, and I don't know. I could fully see myself listening to this unironically.
I do.
I was gonna ask you probably.
Yeah, it's on Spotify. The album. Because Neil Innes, who is the guy who like made all the songs, and he was nasty in the
right
in the film. He actually was like taken to court and had to say under oath that he did not directly copy Beatles songs and was just inspired by them.
Dude, oh my god. That should have been the sequel. Is kind of like the aftermath of the Ruddles. A real documentary on
Also, later, he actually sued my favorite band of my childhood, Oasis.
Yeah.
Because one of his songs that was unrelated to the Ruddles was like ripped off by them.
That's so funny. Just the amount of like Jeff interests that are like embedded in this film. That's ridiculous.
Now, this film might be the first film we've done that is just available to watch on YouTube.
Right. Well, I was going to ask you, because I went to see where I could find it, and I could not find it on Amazon, but maybe I just didn't look that hard. And then I searched on YouTube, and there's 3 versions of the full movie on YouTube to watch, which is very funny. And I watched it with the ads, got the whole, cable TV
You don't
experience.
have premium?
I do have premium, but I didn't feel like logging into that account, so I just sat. Sat through the ads.
I'm like, how could you not have YouTube Premium? You're like the YouTube guy.
Yeah. The thing is,
you're like part of the furniture at YouTube. Do they probably give you a free premium account for how much money you make them?
No, I feel like once you hit a certain amount of subscribers, they should give you a free premium account. Just saying.
Like you would say like 500,000?
Yeah. Which I have hit.
Exactly. I mean, I would say 1,000.
Well,
then I would have
they'd be just throwing out money.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, YouTube Premium. I'm going to quick tangent here is that I think YouTube Premium is worth it. Cuz I do have an account with YouTube Premium, and watching things without ads is so nice. And I realized that
also do. I didn't for so long. I held out, and then I had the deal from like where you could get 3 months free, and I'm like, I guess I'll. And I was like,
and you never
this
go back.
Is better.
Never
no, because I use it more than any other streaming service.
Yep. And you could also just close the app and still listen to the video most of the time.
Yeah, which I don't do that because I don't, unless it's like music, I don't like just listening to videos.
Okay.
But I guess you do.
Well, see, I watch a lot of these like long video essays about things that I'm not even that interested in, or like stream highlights or whatever. And most of that basically feels like a podcast after a while because they're just talking. And I like to listen to the video while I play 8-ball pool. And that is my way of chilling out.
That's your way of relaxing.
Yeah. That is my favorite
Dude, I
activity.
I love reclining in a chair, having a laptop suspended above me, and logging into Neopets. That's how I relax.
Is Neopets still around? Is that?
I have no idea.
Wait. Quick, another quick tangent. This is what did you ever have Webkins, Jeff, or were you past that phase?
No, I did not.
Gotcha. Okay.
Definitely Neopets. Also, Pokemon trading cards in class was a big one.
Yeah. That I feel like was the generation. You're a generation above me in that way.
But except we're the same generation in friendship.
Yes, we'll shake on that. I had 2 Webkins, and I think if I were to log on and check on them right now, I think they would both be dead. Yeah,
they're dead.
Died of hunger and boredom.
Hunger and boredom. Now, my sister, I'm old enough to where my sister had a Tamagotchi.
Oh yeah.
But like,
now those
unironically.
Right. I mean, they're
at a certain point, it was like, oh, this
unironically.
is old. But like, it was when it first came out, she got it.
Man, is that thing dead? I'm assuming.
Well, she dropped it in the toilet. I remember.
If when you get water damage, there's like a thing on the screen where it's like
rounds. Yeah, it was not that advanced. It was like very. It's crazy how people had fun with things that were that basic.
Yeah. You look back at like Jax. The I'm like, really?
Yeah,
that's where we were at. Now we have 8-ball pool.
Yeah, we're just dunking on old people.
Yeah, cards. Yeah.
Anyways, the Ruddles.
I think it is so funny that this is like our 5th music mockumentary movie we've talked about on this podcast, and like one of the classics, which is crazy that it has taken us this long to watch it.
The thing about this film is that very few people know it exists.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but the people that do love it,
yes.
It's got a pretty passionate
100%.
fan base.
But I really have never heard like anyone ever talk about this film.
Yeah.
Besides us.
Neither have I. I think maybe Spinal Tap came along and became the poster child for these kinds of movies.
Yeah. Well, this also was like something that aired on NBC as like a special.
Right.
And I think it was competing against something that was like more popular, and they just never showed it again.
So was it never in theaters? Was it like a TV thing?
Yeah, it was a TV thing.
Well, that makes more sense. Yeah. Interesting.
Yep. I have it on Blu-ray, but it's packed in storage, so I had to watch it on YouTube.
Wow. That must feel pretty cool to have the Blu-ray of this.
Yeah. Dude, what I want is the vinyl of the album.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like the vinyl would be very exciting to have.
Yeah.
As far as
the songs are so good. Do you have a favorite song?
I liked the Get Back parody a lot. Probably because like I recently got into that. It's really just picking your favorite Beatles song. But like I liked Get Back a lot. Ouch was really funny. Yeah, it's a mix between those two. But what about you? What about you?
I kind of have a deep cut favorite, because I'm an aficionado of the Ruddles. Another Day is a really good, like, just nice simple piano track.
Yeah. I love seriously reviewing the Ruddles music.
Yeah, well, but the thing is, that song has the word pusillanimous in it.
I'll
completely, like one of the lyrics is "You're so pusillanimous, oh yeah," which is so funny to have pusillanimous.
Who's your favorite?
The actual definition.
Okay,
here we go. So, pusillanimous is showing a lack of courage or determination.
Okay, perfect for love songs. Who's your favorite member in the Ruddles?
I think Nasty.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yep. And that was the guy who wrote all the songs. So
yeah, he's definitely the most talented of the Ruddles. So,
well, Eric Idle is pretty talented. In a different way, musically though.
I think of the mockumentaries that we've watched, because we can compare them at this point. Like, I think my sense of humor lines up more with Spinal Tap because they're very different. That's the thing. This is right off the bat though, like the slapstick humor of this, or just like the scene where they're going from one car to the next, was like such a great bit to start off with. Like, I don't know, I love this sense of humor a lot. And like the main like announcer guy, the
Eric Idle.
He's that was great.
That's the thing. This film really Spinal Tap is so much more comedically structured, where this film was like making it look like period appropriate and then just throwing whatever they can at the wall. Like, it's just, this movie is very stupid.
Right.
Where Spinal Tap, I feel like the jokes were much more structured.
Yeah. Well, Spinal Tap was like, I think knowing this was like kind of a TV special thing, like, makes it make a lot more sense to me, because this is basically just, and I love these kinds of movies, just bits, like strictly like one bit after another. But like gets away with it because it's like parodying an actual career and like can use that as the story to keep you going. Whereas Spinal Tap, like, they needed to make a whole fictional narrative, which, they make it work. That in itself was like hilarious, but like this is really just nonstop bits. And I like that.
And nonstop songs that are somehow really good.
Yeah. That's probably the best part about it, is the music itself.
Yeah, the fact that the music is good enough to listen to on its own.
Yeah. How many times have you seen this movie, Jeff?
Probably like 4 or 5.
Wow. Never gets old. And you have seen the sequel to...
Well, no, because the sequel's not a true sequel. It's like just a rehash of the original with like a few different things put in it.
Gotcha.
Doesn't seem worth watching.
Understood.
George Harrison was like an executive producer on this,
right?
And he has a cameo.
Yeah, which kind of surprised me, but at the same time, like, makes this even more charming, knowing that like the Beatles, or at least one of them, like kind of had a sense of humor about it. For some reason I feel like John Lennon wouldn't like it, but
I don't know.
Who am I to say? For some reason, knowing George Harrison, I'm like, I feel like he gets this movie, but yeah. Are you Googling it?
Yeah. He loved the film and refused to return the videotape and the soundtrack he was given for approval. But he told Inez that Get Up and Go was too close to Get Back.
Well, that's why I like Get Up and Go so much. It's just basically the same thing. But it's so funny. Yeah. I wonder what Weird Al thinks of this This is like Weird Al before Weird Al, you know?
Yeah, you have to think Weird Al has seen it.
He's definitely seen it, yeah.
Man, too bad I didn't take up the offer to be on the red carpet at TIFF. I could have asked Weird Al what he thought of the Ruddles.
What do you think? Truly, though, someone needs to ask him that question. Wait, I'm going to Google real fast. Weird Al, the Ruddles. There's nothing. He has not acknowledged it. Anyway, I really liked this movie. Which I'm so glad I did. Like, it's taken me so long. It's of all like the Jeff Core movies we've watched, like, because like Ishtar, I feel like you either get it or you don't, and this is like in the same kind of bubble of humor, but like it's just undeniably really good bits.
Yeah, because the periodness of it is so good that it works. Because it has to just, the production has to be a certain level where the bits work. Yeah. And it looks of period. And the songs sound of period.
Right.
And songs are like catchy.
It's like the same kind of thing. Like I don't know why I brought up Weird Al. It's more like Documentary Now. I feel like it's because it's just so period accurate.
It really actually is. That's a great point. I never thought of that.
I feel like if you like Documentary Now, hey, I just know my movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
Which Documentary Now also made for TV, but movies. So that's, you know, just
wow. We're working through it in real time.
Yeah. I is there anything else you'd like to add to? I have a question for you. When was like the first time you watched this? Like, what was the context? Because you mentioned like nobody knows about it, but like, so how do you know about this movie? I can't imagine it was a class thing.
No. That's a good question. I don't know if I remember.
It just appeared in your life.
Yeah. I think that I don't know. I actually don't know.
Damn. Those are the best.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you know what? I just remembered. I was looking into like Monty Python associated people's films.
Gotcha.
That's what it was. Because that's when I also was like watching a lot of Terry Gilliam films.
Yeah.
And this, I actually remember. I got this on Netflix, but before it was streaming, it was like I had to get the DVD of it from them.
God, wow, that's so funny. One of Netflix early sales. Yes, the Ruddles. Yeah, well, I really liked it. I would recommend. I wonder how many people checked it out. I know
really
some
would like
had
to know.
have. Yeah, should just go on Letterboxd and see the recent reviews.
It's really good.
It is really good.
It's so short. It's just like such a fun little film.
Very rewatchable too. Like I would happily like throw this on again, especially because it's free and on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. And
I'm
if
just
you're
looking
premium,
at the
no ad.
poster. I can't get over the cameos. The Bill Murray one is really good too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, the Ruddles. Any closing thoughts on it, Jeff?
Any closing thoughts on the Ruddles? I mean, it's the Ruddles.
It's the Ruddles. Yeah.
Ruddlemania.
Ruddlemania
has come to the Karstcast.
Ruddle fever. Great. Well, that's the Ruddles. You can check it out on YouTube. It's All You Need Is Cash, by the way. It's the one. It's like an hour and 6 on YouTube. Check it out. We'll get into what the hell? Oh, I was gonna get into questions. These come from, we have one from the Patreon and a few from the subreddit, but I'll ask the one from the Patreon first. This one comes from premium patron. I like to call him premium now. Premium patron Leonard. And the question is best German movie. And here, Jeff, I did the work.
Okay, you did the work.
Well, by the work I mean I pulled up.
You pulled up the Das Boot poster?
No. But I already browsed, or I arranged these. Here, I'll send it to you on Facebook. The films on Letterboxd in German, so that we just have the. And I looked, when looking at this, I was like, ooh, I I have not seen a ton of German movies.
Yeah.
But I have seen enough.
Yeah. So Metropolis is and when I say classic, I mean like classic.
Big boy
It's
classic.
old. It's
I haven't
100
seen
years
it.
old.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, a massive, insane film from the 20s.
Yeah. I have seen Funny Games, which is really great.
Das Boot is like, it is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen Das Boot.
Yeah, it's some of the cinematography is crazy.
Damn.
It's like jumping through holes in a submarine.
That sounds awesome. I should watch that.
It's intense.
I've been trying to watch Nosferatu all month because it's on my horror list for this month, and I still haven't seen it. It looks fun, and it's so short. I don't know why I haven't gotten around to it. I know some people are like, it's overrated, but yeah, I want to see that one. I have seen M, which is also really great. And
yeah, I haven't seen a lot of the German films.
yeah, no, I wish
What
I'd
we're
seen more.
noticing.
Yeah. I have seen I think this might be from Austria, but I've seen Great Freedom. Actually no, it takes place in post-war Germany. Great Freedom, it's on Mubi, not to plug separate channel sponsor, but Great Freedom on Mubi, one of the best movies I've seen this year. And it's crazy that like it has gotten no buzz or talk because I'm like it's so good and I really recommend it. And yeah, that's that. This next one comes from okay wait Cyhots 9292. I guess this is a decent one. I was re-listening to a July 2020 episode, and in the Q&A section, somebody asked, do you have any bad date stories? And Jeff said he didn't, and somebody should ask again 2 years later. So here we are. Well, I don't know why I asked this one, because I have nothing to contribute, because
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, there was one, but... Go on.
Yeah?
Go on.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, in this time period, I haven't really been on dates.
Yeah.
Because,
it's
but I mean, I think I had one that I just didn't reveal at the time.
You don't have to reveal it if you don't want to.
No, I mean, the thing is, I think the reason why is because it wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
There's more of just like, how would you define bad? Like, it wasn't, because
Because
obviously, it's not like a date's only successful if you then go on another date and then keep going on dates.
Yeah.
Part of it is seeing like
If it
how you
works.
connect with the person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean, finding that out's not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
See, I had no dates that were like, hey, you show up and the person like slaps you in the face or something.
Yeah.
I've had no, because I'm a very good communicator, Karsten.
That's why he's got a podcast.
That's why I have a podcast for communicating to the masses.
Yeah.
And letting them all know that I have never had a terrible date.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. I think that you and I are both very agreeable people, so and we kind of blend our personalities to whatever the person we're with is like.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way. I mean, in an agreeable way where we both are very conflict averse.
Yes.
You should see like our text chats where both of us will do something that's like unreasonable, where at like the last minute we'll change the time recording, and the other person's always like, "Yeah, no worries."
There's like no
both do
issues
it.
in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, we both do it all the time. We're like, "Yeah, it's fine."
Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to have a bad date story, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and I think for you, it's probably similar. I think. No, I could see your issue is you're famous enough to where you could go on dates with people that like have some preconceived notion of you because they are,
So that happened. This is not the story. I don't remember if I said this last time, but I did go on a date where halfway through she was like, by the way, I think I follow you on Twitter. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's...
You're like, oh, okay, you didn't think that.
Yeah, I'm like...
You know that.
I'm like, the things I was tweeting back then, you knew if you followed me on Twitter. So there's that. And I haven't been, like, dating or doing anything like that for a good 2 years now. So I'm like, I haven't seen... Especially, like, I guess it would be interesting because, like, post-pandemic, where I feel like a lot of people started watching my videos, I haven't really like been dating, so I'm like, I wonder what it would be like on there now. But when it was,
but you don't wonder that enough to be dating.
Yeah, a lot of people messaged me when I was on those apps and were like, "Love your videos." I'm like, all right, conversation ends here.
Weird.
Conversation ends right here.
Thank you.
The story I was going to bring up was technically not a date because we were never dating, but I expressed that I did not want to continue seeing this person the day before this happened. And the next day, she texted me that her car got towed, and she had nobody to bring her to the pound and nowhere to stay. And I should have...
sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but you just called the impound lot the pound.
Well, people call it the pound.
But isn't the pound just where like dogs are taken?
Yeah, but like some people...
Isn't it the car impound lot?
Car pound. You know, it's probably more frequently called the... No, Chicago Auto Pound.
What?
Yeah. I just searched it. They call it the pound.
All right. You know what? Continue your story. You are correct.
But the thing is, I have brought this up before,
wrong.
and someone was like, it's not called the pound. And I was like, I swear I've heard it called the pound before.
You know what? Apparently you're correct.
She texted me this at like 2 a.m, which is why it felt urgent. And I felt, in hindsight, I should have just said, like, listen, I am not an option here, and I wish you all the best. But because, like you said, we're both the kinds of guys, especially me, I'm like, I can't say no to this. And I'm like, very much, let me help as much as I can. Even after I had basically broken up with this person. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up doing it. And she Ubered to me, and then I drove her downtown. It was like a lower whacker impound situation.
Lower whack.
It's like the most impossible part of Chicago to navigate and find. And it was
for real quick, just for those of you who don't know, Lower Wacker is this weird underground section of road in downtown Chicago. It's scary. It's very loud. It's very confusing where you are. It's disorienting. Yep. It's the worst place you could ever want to drive.
Google Maps does not take it into consideration, so that is no help when you're down there.
Yeah.
Because it's like layers. It's not like a grid. It's like you have to go below.
Yeah. It's like Futurama, New York.
Yeah. So I'm like, I kid you not, we were driving around that area for like half an hour trying to find this place. And then we sit there for like another 45 minutes. And I'm just like down there at like 3 a.m. with this person who I've expressed no interest in. And it was a very awkward like 2 hours of my night. And it was something I regret. I mean, I'm glad I was able to help. But I was also like,
did you eventually found the impound lot?
Yes, we did find it.
Okay.
She got her car. It was all fine. And she's a very nice person. I'm just like, I was like, this was a crazy decision of mine. This is really ridiculous. And I was like, that's not a great date memory, if you can even call it a date.
It's definitely not a date.
Definitely not a date.
Get that out of the way right now. It's explicitly not a date. It's someone that you broke up with the day before.
Yeah, freshly broken up with. Like,
not a date. Yeah. Honestly, nothing could be less of a date.
Yeah. It was just the goodbye was kind of like see you around.
Whatever the opposite of an Irish goodbye is, was what you did.
So yeah, that's my bad date, non-date story.
Yeah. I mean, again, I've told this story before, but I went on a date where I saw the Mr. Rogers documentary in a theater, which wasn't bad. It's just a weird choice. I don't know why. I just wanted to see it, and the person was like, "Hey, you want to do something?" I'm like, "Well, I was already going to go see this. If you want to come."
Yeah.
And it was just like a really sad documentary that's like really wholesome.
Yeah, it's like one of the most depressing documentaries, though, I've heard. Like, it makes you cry.
It makes you cry. It's not depressing.
Yeah, not depressing.
It makes you cry in like a happy way.
Right. You're just like, what a good guy.
Yeah, but then it's depressing. You're like, oh, he's dead.
And now we're on a date.
Yeah. And then we're like, okay, well, that was sad.
Yeah. Anyway, that is that. We'll do one more question.
Yeah, this is a really short episode because we did not talk enough about the Ruddles.
I know. Well, we barely had any intro. There was like not enough to talk about with the Ruddles.
That's why we got like news to talk about.
I have one more bad date story that I'll say.
Yeah,
and I forget if I brought this one up. And once again, nothing against this person, but it was like it was like a hookup situation. And after the fact, she revealed she had a Post Malone tattoo that just said Posty on her arm. And then she was like, yeah, I love Post Malone, and like pointed to the wall, and there's like this massive poster of his face. And I was like, how did I not pick up on this on the way in? And it was one of those moments where I was like, all right, I gotta
go. Yeah.
And it's a running bit in the friend group.
Yeah.
It was, she was nice, and it was great.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Different time.
Different time.
The orange hair days is when this happened.
Or that makes sense.
Anyway, we have one more.
I don't know how that makes sense, but it does.
Yeah. It attracted a certain type of crowd, the orange hair.
Yeah, the Post Malone fans.
This last one is a bit crazy, and I didn't think we'd answer it, but because we're so short on questions today, I'm going to use this one. It comes from TadHG2341, and it reads, the Carscast cinematic universe erupts into a battle royale. Who comes out on top? What hijinks does Jared try to use to betray Jeff? Do Wyatt Olaf and Finn Wolfhard fight or team up? How does the hostile coin man use his infinite funds in the battle for his advantage? Only you two can honestly know the results.
Well, first of all, the name of the person who said the question, I think, is Tig. It's like,
oh, right, we addressed this. It's Tig. Yeah. I forgot that.
What's the first part of the question again?
So it just is the Carscast cinematic universe erupts into a battle royale. Who comes out on top? I guess it's not just you and I. It is like everyone we've roped into this podcast, like Jared. Wyatt Olaf and Finn Wolfhard.
Elsie Fisher.
Yeah. Fucking the coin guy from your Hostel story, which is like one of my favorite stories on the podcast.
The coin guy.
The guy that spilled all the coins.
Dude, that was insane.
So it's just such a funny image and sound that I like. It's so funny.
It was like a pound of coins.
It's like the middle of the night, too.
Yeah. It was like 3 a.m. or something. That was so insane. Like, I started laughing because everyone in the room woke up.
He's coming out on top.
Yeah. Oh, he's for sure coming out on top.
He's just throwing coins at people. Yeah. I don't know how to answer this question. I mean, Jared, I think the both of us can team up against Jared, which that's that. I don't think either of us would come out on top, though. There's someone else that would probably.
Yeah, you know who I think would come out on top?
Yeah.
Letterboxd Lucy.
True. Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
I think Lucy, Amanda, and Zach and Arturo would also come up and win.
Yeah. Every other person that talks about film on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of, we are due for another Letterboxd Lucy episode
Yeah, we are.
I feel like we should get it back together.
Bring the band back together.
Bring the band back together. Yeah, that's that question.
Yeah.
I guess we could do one more.
Okay. We have so much time today.
And this one is just as ridiculous, for the record. And I avoided this one on purpose. This one comes from Taunt Keen 91, and it's: would you rather shove a Subway sandwich down your throat or up your ass? See, this is why I didn't want to answer this one. It was only if we ran out of time. It's not something I wanted to answer, but we had no choice.
We had no choice.
We had no choice but to answer this question.
Here's the part that's messing me up.
Yeah.
It's actually a good question.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't immediately know the answer.
Right.
And I kind of am leaning towards up my ass.
Yeah. No. I feel like that, if we're speaking medically, like, I feel like that would be a lot worse than...
I think the throat would be, because it's
the
like...
throat, you could choke and die.
Yeah.
I guess up the ass, you can get surgery and just go to the hospital and they'll figure it out. Yeah. But down the throat, it's like, if that cuts off your airway and...
And that would be, you would die. The other one would just be like embarrassing, but they've seen way worse. Like, you know how many people
they've seen worse.
Do you know how many people have to go to the ER because they stick light bulbs up their butt every year?
Right.
A lot.
Yeah.
Because the shape of the light bulb is like a bulb, right? And it goes up the rectum and gets stuck.
Have you ever seen the video of the glass in the one man, one jar?
No.
You haven't seen that? All right.
I feel like I don't want to, based on the way
based on what you said
changed
before with the light bulb, it's an infamous internet video. It was up there with, like, did you ever see Two Girls, One Cup?
I'm aware of that. I intentionally never watched it.
I watched all these videos in, like, the 6th grade, which was not a good thing to do.
That sounds like that might have been
it scarred me for a while. Yeah. Don't look up the jar. The jar one is worse the jar one is really awful.
I'm guessing it's a guy who shoved the jar up his ass.
Yes, he squats down and puts this jar up his ass, and then the jar breaks. And I will actually not explain any further. I don't. There's some listeners who are probably like, come on.
I think all of them are.
They ran out of questions, so they start talking about one man, one jar. Yeah. So the sandwich, in the grand scheme of things, probably one of the safer things you can put up your ass.
Yeah. I mean, it's soft.
Yeah.
Although the bread famously had yoga mat preservatives in it up until recently, and then they had to have a whole commercial campaign about how their bread no longer had yoga mats in it.
That's insane.
They're like, yeah, our bread has like less weird chemicals in it than it used to,
and this way we don't have to taste the Subway sandwich.
Yeah,
which I think
that was honestly like one of the main perks.
Yeah. Really glossed over that one.
Subway is the worst.
It's true. It's
awful. The most. There's the most locations of any restaurant in the world, and it's also the worst restaurant in the world.
Yes. Yeah, and you know who is expanding is Jersey Mike's,
but I hate Jersey Mike's.
I don't,
because of that commercial.
Well, the commercial, but the sandwiches.
Oh no, I've heard the sandwiches are good.
Sandwiches are great. Yeah.
If Jersey Mike's wants to sponsor this podcast,
we would take it.
We love it.
I mean, I would love it personally. I love Jersey Mike's.
Like how Jared became an influencer for Chili's, and they sent him tons of gift cards and swag.
That's where we need to get with Mike's, Jersey Michaels.
Yeah, you can try to set that up. Have your manager call someone there.
Someone at my people talk to Mike's people.
Although the CEO is not named Mike,
which is crazy. I feel like you only get to run Jersey Mike's if your name is Mike.
I don't know if there was ever anyone named Mike involved.
Peter Cancro. Isn't Jimmy John? His name is actually Jimmy John.
Yeah, and apparently he's like, allegedly he's a huge asshole.
He's a huge ass from Illinois. So,
well, that tracks.
There we go. Anyway, we'll wrap things up. Now that we've addressed the Subway question, next week's movie, few ways we could go with this, but I just watched Black Adam. I don't know if I want to make you sit through Black Adam, Jeff. That's the thing.
I mean,
I respect you too much.
Up to you.
Wait, next week will be
Next
week will be Halloween. So
yeah, we should do a Halloween.
We could just watch the movie Halloween, or we could watch a horror movie.
I've never seen Halloween,
and I haven't seen it in a long time. So maybe we should just do Halloween.
Wait, what day is it going to come out?
Halloween, the 31st.
Oh, okay.
That's
so
a Monday.
Better
so
release it like that morning.
Yeah, it's only 91 minutes, and it's available on Amazon Prime. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, at least this month.
Yeah. We should just watch Halloween.
I'm down.
The John Carpenter 1978.
Especially because like
classic. 17
people are probably going to listen to this episode because they're like, "What the hell is the Ruggles?"
Really come back with Halloween. Anyway, that's that. Next, we like to read a review because we love hearing what you guys have to say about the podcasts. This one comes from guys, I'm going to be honest. We don't have a new review this week. I'm looking at them, and we've already done I'm a Dirty Urine Drinker, and we've done all of these. But if you would like to be in the podcast, you should leave a review on Chartable, because we read the reviews at the end of every episode. And let me just double check.
Yeah, we would have just read your review.
Yeah. Sometimes Chartable does not update, and it's on Apple Podcasts. And that's not the case this time. Yeah, no new reviews. That's fine, but just know we love to hear them. This last part of the podcast is the Patreon read, where we thank the lovely patrons over at patreon.com/Carscast who keep this podcast going, keep it fresh.
We love the patrons, love the premium patrons.
Keep us upgrading the podcast. That's how Jeff got this new cloud lifter.
That's why there's less. Our noise floor is lower. It lowers the noise floor.
The noise floor is on the floor.
It's in the basement.
It's in the it's in the ground.
There's no basements in Florida.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You'd just be hitting like water.
Yep. This is the best place to go if you want to get more Carscast content and support the podcast. You get
the best place to go would be tapping Karsten's phone. That'd be the best place to go to get new Carscast content.
Oh, yeah.
You just yeah, but that's illegal. So the best legal way to get
no, don't do that.
Don't do that. I've done it. It's boring.
There's nothing on there.
Yeah, you can keep looking up videos about guys shoving jars up their asses.
Yeah. That's why I have YouTube Premium, so I can watch that and play pool. Yeah, you get exclusive bonus episodes.
You just listen to that video.
The sound of the crack and
You're like, this is how I relax, playing the pool.
It's my favorite relaxing activity. Bonus episodes, Q&As, shout-outs at the end of every episode, and monthly Zoom hangouts. The next one, which will be this weekend, hopefully. We just have to schedule it. And yeah, that's the Patreon. So without any further ado, it's ado. Yeah. Thank you, Alex Thomas, Anson Contreras, Belly, Big Beard Pirate, Boinks, Camilla, Coop, David Borslow, David Sir, Eden, Finn Richardson, Goodnight Tail, Grant Gow, Jacob Meyer, Jared Armstrong, John Van Hout, Joshua Hughes, KDT, Leonard. Let's change the Google search results for PTA. Levin, I'm a hair product now. Liv Rob, Louis AO, Lukewarm, Maddie Robertson, Martin Def, Marilee Borslow, Meridian, Michael Rennie, Monroe Page, Noah Wooten, Queen of Staten Island, Rakakuni, Riley Ost, Ryan M, Sam, Sean Kenny Loves, God Save the Animals, Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Worman, Jagerman, Jensen, Taylor Smiley Face, the Raccoon from Airbud, 7th Inning Fetch, Vegard Strom, Wes Kinley, Wiley Todd, Yusuf A, and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. I actually met one of our patrons at the
Dirtbag.
Dirtbag, yeah. Very nice to meet you. Yeah.
It's cryptic now.
Well,
you don't know who it is.
He's not a patron anymore, and that's fine. But I recognized the name, and he said he was a patron, and I was like, it's so great to meet you. Yeah. I think that's it for today. I'm going to go
All
back
right.
to
That
editing
works.
this Black Adam video. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.